It is 64 degrees in Los Altos, California, and we are at the Dude Angus Gym on the campus of Los Altos High School for a match between the visiting Monta Vista Matadors and the Lady Eagles of Los Altos. Hi again, everyone. This is Mike Messner courtside to bring you all the action, and with me is Carlo Jimenez. And Carlo, of course, is a senior at Bellarmine College Prep, and he's looking to make a career for himself in broadcasting. And Carlo, you've been watching these teams in this league and in this section for quite a while. What to you is the essence of a really good high school volleyball team?
I think a really good high school volleyball team is going to be one that passes well. I think a lot of the times you see a lot of free balls going over both ways, and a team that's able to take the tough attacks, pass the ball well, and then set up their attackers on each side. On the offensive side is usually a team that's going to succeed at the high school level. Yeah, and we're going to see a lot of that. The statistics do kind of speak for themselves. Los Altos has superior numbers in terms of kills, aces, digs, and assists. So it makes sense that they're coming in with a 22-6 record. Monta Vista, on the other hand, although they're just at 500, 12 wins, 12 losses, they do have an edge in receptions, and both teams are even in total blocks. Does that say a lot about the amount of teamwork that these teams do? Yeah, I think it definitely does. You look at the stats both ways, and I think the last time these two teams faced off, the stats kind of came out in the game. 3-0, Los Altos dominating all three sets throughout, able to take that one. And it's always interesting the second time. It's a lot harder to beat a team 2 times in a row, and so we'll see if Monta Vista can come out with a little energy, try to steal set 1 here. There's a couple of players that we want to take a look at tonight, aren't there, Carlo? Yeah, one for Monta Vista, Tung Lin, is one of the best players over there. Number 10, the libero, team leader in aces and digs with 215 in serve receptions. In her last game against Mountain View, she had 19 digs. That was the second most she has had all year. Most on a game is 22. And she has been able to control this Monta Vista team and has played very well, taking care of a lot of balls in the backcourt. Now, of course, Monta Vista is just coming off a very tough 3-2 loss at at home, I beg your pardon, against the Mountain View Spartans. But then in Los Altos, there's at least one player that I think is worth looking at, and that's Naomi Cremu. She's the team leader in kills, aces, and receptions. And she had a great performance against Pally just a few days ago. Yeah, she played very, very well. And those are two players that we're going to have to watch for. And Cremu's got a lot of power. It'll be interesting seeing Cremu's power working against Lynn's skills trying to dig those balls. Now, Los Altos, of course, is coming off a very hard-fought victory at Homestead the other night. And as I understand, they were down 2 sets and came back and wiped out Homestead in 3 straight sets to take home the victory. Yeah, actually, they dropped the first set 18-25. Oh, my goodness. And then you drop the second set in extras, 29-27. Come back for the third set, 25-12. They get the win in the third set, and then it just went from there, winning the 5th set 15-18. So this team is a team that I think that game really shows the mental strength of this team, no matter what happens in the first set or the second set. Is really going to serve them well, not only here tonight, but down the road in the playoffs. Now, finally, Carlo, we've talked about both sets of coaches, but there's one interesting fact about the Los Altos coach, Peter Kim, that you mentioned to me right before we went live, about his win-loss record. Could you say a little bit about that? Yeah. So Coach Peter Kim has been here for 7 seasons. He is exactly 100 games above 500. He is 181 in the win category and 81 losses in the loss category. So definitely a lot of success here for Coach Kim for Los Altos and trying to continue it here tonight against Monta Vista. Well, it ought to be a good one because fall has definitely fallen, and we're going to see where the chips fall in tonight's match between the Matadors and the Eagles. We saw earlier that the Eagles in a surprising 2nd place in their division, just behind division leader Pally, and the Eagles actually overcame the Vikings just a few days ago in this very gym. Yeah, I mean, Los Altos got to have a lot of confidence. You're 2nd in your league. You got to play. The thing that could get you in this game, though, is the possibility of kind of overlooking this Monta Vista team. We talked about the 1-9 record in league. They have not. They've been on a rough patch, winning 2 of their last 8 games. And so we'll see if this Monta Vista team comes out a little fired up and they can catch the Los Altos teams on their heels.
It'll be interesting because in the second set is where both of these teams draw nearly even. So it wouldn't be surprising to see Los Altos take the first set, but it also wouldn't be surprising to see Monta Vista really come back and give them a run for their money in the second set.
Yeah, and one thing I'd like to point out, Monta Vista 1-4 at home, but on the season 4-7 away. So four of those 5 wins coming away and so as we get ready for the first serve here.
And off we go. Handled there by Caitlin Wong, one of the captains. And that off the deflection there. Great height gotten on that kill there, and I think it caught the front line of the Matadors just a little bit sleeping.
And Jackie Wayne from the near side, big time attack there. She had 15 kills against Homestead.
That was Lauren Wong who was serving there. And turnabout is fair play because just like that, Anusha Potanini, I hope I got that right, came back with the response on that. And the jumping quality of both these teams, you have to admit, Carlo, it's almost a standoff between the two of them.
Yeah, two very pretty tall teams as we get a net violation right there. But and definitely you're going to see a couple first sets, the legs are fresh, so.
Well, let's take a look at that again. Yeah, definitely, certainly not an intentional one, but clearly one. Set up, deflected. Now handled by Monta Vista. Back over and too hard off of Katie Kishton. Katie, one of the 3 captains. And let's see that one again. That's a tough dig on that one, Carlo, when you're in the middle of the court and you really don't know where the ball's going to end up.
Yeah, Kishton, that ball came right at her hip, and that's just a tough one.
And deflected, handled by Monta Vista, tipped over, dug out there very nicely. Now, and off the deflection, and Los Altos comes away with it. I think that was Katie Kishton right there on the kill.
Yeah, Kishton with a nice kill here from the near side. She was disappointed earlier in the rally as one of her attacks was dug.
Yeah. A little bit of redemption there, and that's Camille Blanc. Camille, a graduating senior. We honored her a little bit earlier tonight. Now a nice set over. And that went over everybody's head. I don't think anybody saw that one coming.
Just catching them off guard. Monta Vista not ready for the one-timer right over the top.
And yet here we are at a 3-3 standstill. Blanc with the serve. Dug out and almost off the backboards and into the stands. Too far of a run for Tung Lin there. And Los Altos taking a 1-point lead here, and I think this may be the first time they've led. And just not an effective dig there by Trinity Nguyen. Now served over. Off the net, handled by Los Altos. Kishton. Volleyed over there. That was Emerald Lamb. And that one too hard on the kill.
Looks like the set right there just a little behind. And so unable to get on top of that ball.
Well, you don't want your front line to have to improvise too much. It has to come down to muscle memory as much as you can, isn't it?
4-0 run here for Los Altos, able to take a 6-3 lead.
And Camille Blanc holding serve. Dug out. Lamb. And just in, and a great attempt there by Katarina Baxter, the middle hitter and sophomore, right down what would be the left line of the Lady Eagles. And no one was there to cover it.
Nice attack going outside the block instead of trying to go into it and overpower it. Just good ball placement.
And a lot of good vision there, too. That's Alyssa Umino serving there. Dug out by Blanc, then Wong. Kill attempt, handled by Monta Vista. Now deflected and out. And I think that might have been off of Katie Kishton there.
Now one category that Monta Vista was able to win in their last game against Los Altos was blocks. Big time block there, helping them out, 6-5.
Yeah, and both teams even in blocks coming into tonight's contest. And that one wasn't blocked at all. That was tipped off of a couple of Matador players. Trinity Nguyen touched it last.
They just keep coming. The near side attacks have been the go-to so far in the early stages of set number 1.
I think it says a lot for both these teams that they have done their homework.
Again, set a little behind right there.
Set by Wang. And a nice one, although probably not what she intended, but when you've got a ball with a lot of top-spin, Carlo, it just makes it that much more hard to handle, doesn't it?
Look how high up she gets. There's a lot of power behind that ball. Big time kill there, 8-5.
Ooh. And just an unfortunate, hey, it was Jackie Kai, a sophomore outside hitter, who tried to handle that one.
Caitlin Wong, 33 aces on the year. So she has been able to...
Counting that one?
Counting that one.
Okay. Now over, kind of a looping kill attempt there. Set, controlled, blocked. Now back over, a little miscommunication, but they're gonna have to get it over, and not enough there. Samantha Dunn was kind of wondering, who's gonna grab that one? I've always found that's the kiss of death, Carlo.
Looking around at her teammates, like somebody come and get this.
And after 24 games, you'd think the channels of communication might be a little bit better. Now there's a good setup, but not quite good enough as Sydney Enthoven, the 6-foot junior middle blocker, comes away with the kill after a beautiful set.
A 4-0 run here by Los Altos.
Another one. Oh, very devious there. That was Karina Johnson, a sophomore there. On the tip.
Heads up play on the tip. They've been blocked a couple times at the net.
And that's the first tip we've seen tonight, Carlo.
We'll see if we see more so far. Both these teams, the early approach has been power, but ball placement.
Oh, here comes Camille Blanc, and tipped over and kept alive there by Caitlin Wong, but it wasn't enough, and the point goes to Monta Vista.
Yeah, Wong with almost a huge dig right here. She's had 6 games with 20-plus digs. Just unable to...
She's one of the most mobile members of this Los Altos squad. Ooh, overhand hit there, but a legal one. Handled by Los Altos. That was Tung Lin on the over. Now back now off the ceiling. Lim volleyed over there by Lauren Tsai. Wong tipped over. Back again and out of bounds. And even though that one went out of bounds there, Carlo, that was a great digging effort by the Monta Vista front line.
And score is 12-7. It's been pretty even so far here. Monta Vista staying within reach.
There's Kishton with the serve. Dug out there by Lum. And another tip, but this time Los Altos handles it. There's Kishton. There's Wong. Lum. And that was Johnson, and Johnson comes away with the point there. Planted right in the middle of the back court for Los Altos. No one was expecting that one. Good ball placement on a not very easy shot to make.
Yeah, not too much power, able to get a little touch off the block. And just perfect placement. Nobody home there for Los Altos.
Tipped over. That was Tori Hausch. Now over. That was Lauren Tsai. Wong. Hausch. Blocked. Set up. And a good kill there, and another diving attempt by Caitlin Wong didn't come up, and that's Lauren Tsai. And Lauren will be leaving Monta Vista at the end of this year. I don't know if we have any numbers on Lauren, but she certainly has been effective so far for the Matadors.
Yeah, a lot of energy on this Monta Vista side here early after that last kill from Wong.
Well, I think they're sensing that Los Altos is vulnerable in some places that maybe they didn't see last time these two teams met. And down. Great attempt. That was Anusha Pathanini. Pathaneni, I think. I beg your pardon.
6 kills in their last game against Mountain View.
That's impressive. So now Emerald Lamb serving. Emerald is a senior. At least 1 year on the varsity. Dug out there. Set. That was Tori Hausch with the kill. And Tori also on her way out after a very successful tenure at Los Altos. Let's see that one again.
Just right down the middle, pure power. And nobody able to get to it in time. Emerald Lamb was there. Just a heater.
There's a serve there by Megan Corley. And heads up ball there by Pathaneni.
Great vision on that one. It looked like there was 3 Los Altos players. Or 2 right there, but
she knew from the very beginning where that one was going. Brilliant ball placement. And now there's a little bit of a cover. No, we're just having a substitution there.
I think that's one thing we've said a lot here. Brilliant ball placement by Monta Vista. They've played very smart. Very cerebral.
Dug out there. And over and out, Jackie Wong coming back with a vengeance and taking that long angle parallel to the net. Something that's almost impossible to defend, no matter how good your blockers are.
She's able to get a nice 3-step approach on that one, full power.
Handled there by Kai. Now out, and that time Anusha just tried a little bit too hard to get that. Didn't get much height on that one.
Got to get on top of that ball. It's so easy to tell when you don't. Just sails right over the back line.
There's a nice looping serve and a kick. Good kick, but the wrong sport. This is not indoor soccer.
Tung Lin does a lot for this team, but right there, she's trying to do it all.
Well, I think she's trying to do it all for a different team. That's Lauren Wong serving. I think this is the 4th or 5th time. Tipped out, and that one's going to go back to Monta Vista. As once again, Anusha Pathaneni.
She's been very active here early. This nice spike right into the top of the block. With that height, she's able to get on top of it.
And this would probably be Anusha's first year on the varsity, so she's showing a lot of talent. Maybe has spent more than 1 year. And that time, Los Altos was having none of it. And that's Claire Kwok, a 5'10" middle blocker junior, who drove that one home for the Eagles with authority.
They haven't really gone to that middle attacker. A couple of times, the 2 times they have, it's worked nicely for them.
These Los Altos Eagles have 6 seniors on their squad. And so these are girls that have known each other for a very long time. They're very familiar and they work together like a well-oiled machine.
And they're definitely something that Coach Kim preached. Get out to an early start, and they've done so very well here tonight.
Dug out nicely there by Kwok. Lynn to Lamb. Dug out, and not quite enough. I think that might have been Lauren Wong on the dig there. Let's see that again.
This nice ball placement again, right in the middle. No man's land, really.
And center attacking, like you were saying a little bit while ago. Now Alyssa Umino, and Alyssa's a sophomore. Jump serve, handled there by Blanc. Wong, Kishton, now Lum, and an attempt there, a swiping attempt by Samantha Dunn, but it didn't come off. Not enough height on that one, Carlo, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess a couple times where we've seen the set a little behind these players for Monta Vista and trying to adjust midair. It's very tough to get a good attack.
Now that one might have been a mistake to handle that, but, oh! Corrine McCabe just trying every hand move in the world to try to keep that one live. Not quite enough. I think it's interesting, Carlo, that even despite being down 6 and 7 and sometimes 8, that Monta Vista has not called a timeout yet in this match.
Yeah, down 20-15. This is a coach and a team that clearly believes in this team's ability to come back here and set number one. And being on the road, how important it can be to take that first set.
Jackie Kai with the serve. Wong falling backwards. And just in, and I believe that was Katie Kishton on the right side.
Able to paint the far line.
Perfectly set. There's Kishton with the serve. Lum set and blocked, but not effectively enough. I'm not sure that went over the net there.
Sydney Ethoven, she's got 30 solo blocks on the year, 44 altogether. So she does it a lot by herself. And been a big asset for this Los Altos team. There's a couple points here in a row by Monta Vista in a 4-point game.
And of course, Sydney is the only player on the Los Altos squad that is 6 feet tall. So she has a lot of reasons to be doing it by herself. That's Divya Suresh serving for the Matadors. Saved there by Juresh. Now dug out there by Wong. Set, over, dug out there by the Matadors, set, and now volleyed over. Back to Los Altos, set, and a quick tip right in downtown Matadorville by Sydney Enthoven, and there's that height coming in again, Carlo. We knew it was going to be an asset, and it's proving itself in all kinds of ways as the match goes on tonight.
And not only on defense, but on the offensive one as well. The tip over the net, nicely placed ball.
Green McCabe there serving for the Eagles. Sorry about that, Carlo.
Oh, no.
Kept alive there by the Matadors. Back over there. Now dug out by Wong. Set. And into the rear right-hand corner of that court.
2 times that Los Altos is able to be powerful with the ball, but also put it in the right spots, almost painting the line on that serve.
Yeah. One of the mistakes that I've seen a lot of high school teams make, Carlo, is when they see a long serve, when they would be well advised just to let it go, a lot of times they'll play it. And is that an instinctive kind of thing?
Yeah, I think when the ball's coming out at you, the whole game you're trying to hit it and try to pass, and just the reflex initially is going to be go for the ball. It's coming at me.
And that one taken down again with authority, and that brings us to a set point right now. And although the match has been even, I think it's pretty clear that the edge has been to the Lady Eagles.
And the Eagles have kind of done it slowly, not with a lot of big runs, just taking a couple points, adding a couple points here, adding a couple points there, and you look up at the scoreboard, it's 24-18.
And Megan Corley now serving for the set. I'm teaching Megan this year, and she's quite a student. And loves volleyball and knows the sport very well. Now back over, handled there. Now Jackie Wong, handled by the Matadors, volleyed over. There's McCabe to Hausch. And dug out again, and the Matadors refuse to go quietly here with the set point.
Another free ball, see if they can take advantage.
Ooh, almost a scoop there. And that one, okay, dug out again by McCabe. And now Jackie Wong trying to tip over. Great rally we have so far on both sides. And that one, what was that I was saying about hitting it too hard? That was Katarina Baxter. And Los Altos, after some spirited defensive moves by Monta Vista, captures this first set.
Los Altos ending that first set on a 5-0 run.
We're going to step aside while we get set up for the second set. We'll be back to the Dude Angus gym in just a moment. Don't go away. We're back at Dude Angus Stadium here at Los Altos High School, where Los Altos is up by 1 set. They just finished that first set at 25-18, and Carlo, did you get any indication about one of the real key pieces of the first set for either the Lady Eagles or the Matadors?
Yeah, I think Los Altos played a much cleaner game. They didn't really send a lot of free balls over, didn't have a lot of miscommunication. As we saw a little bit, that was a struggle for Monta Vista, and able to take the set 18-25. And again, mention it little by little, just taking care of business. It was the last time these two teams faced off, the first set a lot closer, 25-23. So it looks like, although Los Altos won this last matchup, they did their homework as well.
Now, if you are the coach of the Matadors, what are you going to tell your team about the second set? Obviously, you're going to say they need to play better, but is there anything in particular that you'd try to tell your girls?
I'd say keep up the smart court vision when you're attacking. You don't always have to go for full power. I think what worked a lot for them was the tips over and the nice ball placement in the middle. I think that was an area where we saw Los Altos be a little vulnerable, that center area, kind of no man's land.
There were a lot of key plays, of course, and the two people that we pointed out at the top of the broadcast, Tung Lin for Monta Vista and Naomi Cremu, they both played their role, but I thought Tung Lin was especially prominent in, she just seemed to be everywhere on the Monta Vista side. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I 100% agree. Tung Lin was, we saw her try to dig one with her foot at one point during this game. She has tried to do everything to help this Monta Vista team here.
Well, she's a statistical leader for a lot of reasons. There's Jerry Messerschmidt, and he is a long time. And then back behind him is Michelle Noeth and Wynn Satterwhite, the athletic director of Los Altos and the principal of Los Altos, respectively. All here to honor the seniors of the Lady Eagles. And that was a bit of a slow start by Lauren Wong, one of those seniors we were just talking about. We served that one right into the right antenna.
Yeah, she was not happy with herself after that one.
It seemed like a little bit more of a casual effort than she wanted. But here's Divya Suresh. And that one's in play. Wong. And a leaping attempt that didn't quite come off. That was Katie Kishton. Trying and got a lot of height on that one. For some reason, didn't quite get the hand on it that she wanted.
And they've tried to get Kishton going early, and a couple times she's been able to put it in play.
And that's a line drive serve. We haven't seen too many of those tonight, Carlo. Usually they've been the classical sort of looping serve that you get from a lot of girls' volleyball games. That one was a line drive and it went straight into the net. Is that a common thing for line drive serves? Is there a secret to them?
I think it's always tough because the margin of error is going to be a lot smaller than when you're just trying to put it in play. And Monta Vista, nice attack.
No margin of error on that one as Monta Vista opens up with a 3-1 lead. And guess who's serving for the Matadors? It's Tung Lin. Bumped. And dug out there by Monta Vista. And diving attempt there, that was Gianni Tian, a junior setter, trying to get that one dug out. Didn't quite come out with it.
Tian and Lynn looked like there was a little miscommunication. Looked like Lynn had it, and then she backed away at the last moment.
Well, it looked like she had to run for her life, really. She knew she was going to get mowed down by somebody who was coming at her. But Monta Vista regaining control now.
Coming out strong here in this second set.
I think they probably took your advice, Carlo. Did you sneak away from the booth during the break?
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, I guess you have. And now it's Alyssa Umino. There's the looping serve I was talking about, handled by Los Altos.
Nice step there.
And a great smash there by Corrine McCabe. Corrine, not the most flamboyant of the players on the Lady Eagles, but knows her trade.
And one thing the Lady Eagles have done really well has been able to overpower the block of Monta Vista. I think they're attacking a lot into the block, but those deflections have been key in their success.
That and their back line, I think, also. There's a tip, and it's tipped right out as Tori Hausch Signed, sealed, delivered, was able to get that right where she wanted it to go.
Altos able to even it back up at 4 apiece.
Dug out by, and that one deflected off, and so they catch a bit of a break there.
Samantha Dunn on the attack there. She had 8 kills against Mountain View.
And now Jackie Kai. Dug out there by Wong. Now over, handled by Monta Vista. Set, over, and right by Caitlin Wong. As Monta Vista building up a lead again and seeming to know all of the weaknesses in the Los Altos defense and exploiting every single one of them, Carlo.
Yeah, a tough cross-court attack right there. And just beautiful ball placement in that back corner.
Ooh.
Too low on the set.
When you're that close to the net, you have to be so careful, and you have almost no time to think about what's going on.
So a little after the game was tied at 4 by Los Altos, Mountain View on a 3-0 run.
I think you mean Monta Vista.
Monta Vista, correct.
Yeah.
Wrong game.
And the tip, I think the Lady Eagles went to the well too many times on that one because Monta Vista was never fooled. They were right there from the beginning. Now Jackie Kai, she's changing sides now. Line drive serve, set, up. McCabe gets it over. And Carlo, what gave the Eagles the point on that one?
You know, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, they'll just take the money and run at this point. So Corrine McCabe's going to be serving now. Trying to bring the Lady Eagles back. Beautiful serve just over the net. Now bounced over. Handled by Wong. Jackie Wong, but deflected. And Samantha Dunn saving the day for the Lady Matadors. And how about that blocking?
She's a big-time blocker for this Monta Vista Matador team. Got 34 on the year.
And now Samantha Dunn, whom we've talked about a lot, starting serving. Jackie Wong thinking that she could do some overpowering, but Monta Vista right there to handle it. And that time, Tori Hausch, the wily veteran that she is, playing right setter and outside hitter, comes away with it.
Well, Los Altos trying to climb their way back. Hasn't been Monta Vista not able to take a huge lead here early.
Now Megan Corley. And Corley's serve goes for an ace, and I don't know how many aces Megan has, but she's got one more than she had a minute ago.
Serving for Los Altos has definitely been an advantage here through this 1.5.
There, without too many exceptions, the serving seems to have been a lot more aggressive with the Lady Eagles than it has been with the Matadors.
I think that's really helped them so far. They haven't made a ton of service errors. The only one that comes to mind is to start this set off.
Correct. Up into the rafters. Lum handles. Now back over off of Kai. Corley. Set. And Tori Hausch bringing it home for the Eagles.
3-0 run by the Eagles, and we're back to knotted at 9. And a big-time attack there is not even Tung Lin could handle that one.
Well, there's a time and a place for power in high school volleyball, and we just saw it there, Carlo, didn't we? Ooh, good blocking attempt there, but it's going to go to the Matadors. That was Sydney Enthoven trying to use her 6-foot height, but not handled well. Got right over that picket fence and into the backcourt. Now Gianni Tian. We've talked about her before this evening. Dug out. Jackie Wong blocked. Now back over, McCabe. And slamming the door on that. I think that might have been Jackie Kai. Let's see that again. No. It was Anusha Pahaneni.
Look for Monta Vista to go to her more. She's been very efficient here in these first couple of sets.
Also with that center attack, which is what we just saw. Oh, save there, a one-handed save. Poorly gets it back over. Handled by Monta Vista. Low set, but it was all that Anusha needed to get that one down.
That's 3 straight points for number 12 for Monta Vista.
I think it says a lot about her versatility because that was not a textbook set, and yet she was able to get money off of it. That one too hard. So Los Altos staying within 2, and that was one of the few unforced errors we've seen in this set or in this match.
Yeah, it really hurts you there. You go from, instead of being up 3, only up by 2, instead of going up by 4.
And here comes Lauren Wong, and that's a bit of a redemption serve there. And blocked very nicely by Los Altos, but handled by the Matadors. Set by Wong, and right into the face of Tam Lum. Set again by Wong. And Jackie Wong with the kill. And that was about going as fast as the average freight train headed into the Monta Vista side there. And Los Altos comes to within 1.
So fast it made Gianni Tien do the splits.
And then Lauren perhaps feeling a little bit of nerves at the chance to get the equalizer, served that one out of bounds, and it returns control to the Matadors.
This set, I think we can say, through the earlier parts has been a lot closer than set number 1 in terms of the score.
And the referees saw something they didn't like. I think we might have had an improper position there, or out of rotation maybe. Now we have a clean serve. Handled. Now over and blocked. Anusha and Katarina Baxter teaming up. The junior and the sophomore.
Anusha's been money so far. 15-11 lead. This is the largest lead of the night.
So far, Anusha would get my vote for the Monta Vista player of the game. And that one did get over. Somebody hit the deck and blocked there. Anusha wasn't expecting that. Blocked again. Jackie Wang leaping over there to slam the door. And Los Altos back to within 3. And that's just ideal defense.
I played the ball well. Monta Vista a little out of sorts right there, and Los Altos able to take advantage.
And what a serve there by Camille Blanc. That's the second ace we've seen in this game for the Eagles.
Just a perfect serve right over the top of the net.
You can't do it any better than that. That one handled almost into the ceiling. Now over, and the kill attempt. When I saw that Jackie, I think she was more like 6 or 7 feet off the net, which is probably too far if you want to do a kill attempt, isn't it, Carlo?
Yeah, it's tough to get a lot of power or be able to locate the ball well.
Dug out there. Now set up, and too far over the net, out of bounds. And Los Altos has tied the game up. It might be the first tie we've had in a while.
Yeah, first tie since 4-4.
And now let's see if Los Altos can build on that, and they do. And another ace. That brings the ace count up to 3, if I'm not mistaken. And a couple of them, at least 2, have come off the hand of Camille Blanc. And now, the Matadors, suddenly sensing that this thing is slipping away, calls a timeout.
And you mentioned it earlier in that first set. Interesting that they didn't call the timeout, or down by a 4 or 5 late in that set. And here, your lead is taking, you're up 15-11. Los Altos goes on a 5-0 run, and now you call the timeout 16-15.
I think it says that at some point you've just got to recombobulate and tell your players, look, we're better than this. We deserve better than this. We can do better than this.
Yeah, this Monta Vista team that their last game even was stolen from them. They had the lead 2-1 in terms of sets, but just could not close the deal. And right here, looking to take a critical set number 2. But when Camille Blanc has been serving, there's been a lot of...
Well, we were saying if Anusha would be the player of the game for Monta Vista so far, I'd say Camille Blanc is a strong contender for the Eagles side of that equation. And another great serve, well positioned. This one handled a little bit better. Good cross-court pass over the net. Set, tipped over by Kishton. Now running in to save that one. Kill attempt handled by Blanc. Wong to McCabe, and McCabe seals the deal. Straight down the middle, and these Los Altos fans love it.
That one might have had a heat trail on it, coming down super fast from the backside.
That should be on her highlight reel, I'll tell you that. Dug out there by Lum. Low set, and that time Anusha said, I've had enough of this, and I'm going to make you pay.
And if I'm Monta Vista, I think I'm going to her every single time. She's got to sub out here for rotations, but she's been your most consistent player in terms of attacking.
Of course, that's going to mean that Los Altos may reduce it to a one-dimensional attack. But if they can capitalize on it, then whatever works, works, I guess. It's the results that counts when you're in high school volleyball.
Yeah, a big difference here in the second set has been Los Altos has been able to stay in system a lot, and you see a lot of times, as you were talking about, Monta Vista players running all over the court. They just had to work a lot harder to earn these points.
There's a lot of discipline with the Lady Eagles. At least they've seen it so much, and that one was not discipline, that was just pure dumb luck. Rolling off the net like it did, no chance at all for the defenders.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Carlo. Now that one is a little bit long. I didn't see exactly where it landed, but the Matadors regain it. And Divya Suresh waiting to serve. They're going to get, no, I beg your pardon, they've switched that over. That is Alyssa Umino now. Umino with the serve. Dug out by Blanc. Now, and off the rafters. And that, Carlo, may be the biggest secret weapon of all when the Eagles play at Dude Angus Gym, is those big metal girders that are hanging off of this ceiling.
And you saw Monta Vista surprised how fast that ball comes back. Oh, beautiful.
Caitlin Wong slipped a little on that, but I don't think she could have gotten it anyway.
Able to put it where nobody can get there. Nice. Ball kind of comes over the top of her head with the right hand.
Yeah, there was a big gap in the Los Altos defense exposed on that one. And now Trinity Nguyen now serving.
Monta Vista, a great time to make a run, down 20-18.
Los Altos needs to turn the corner if they're going to get this second set. And tipped, and that is not the way you do it. Kareem McCabe trying to be a little bit too clever there. But Los Altos came up with the point.
The ball was blocked out of bounds.
Ah, okay. I guess I missed that. Anyway, McCabe now with the serve. And dug out, but an interesting pass. Now it's still alive.
The joust. Now
they're trying, yeah, that is a joust. Now set over. So we widen the game a little bit. Set. And right down the middle. And Caitlin Wong's probably going to have a bruise after diving for that one to no avail.
And I think Monta Vista, one thing they've done nice is kind of expose the problem of the down the middle defense, which seems like so far for this Los Altos team that they've had in this game.
And they've been doing it with multiple players too, Carlo. Yeah, good defense there, good spike, and Jackie Wong showing why she is the asset to this team that everyone knows her to be.
Big heads-up play right there. And why put it in system when you can just spike it right back over?
Well, I don't think they were expecting that it was going to go that high. And now Megan Corley again as Los Altos closes in on a second set. Good block there. Kept in play. Tipped over. Kishton, Corley, dug out there by Lum. Still in play. Great work there by Monta Vista to keep it around. And there we go with Tori Hausch.
Hausch going cross court, back corner. And that is just a tough ball to dig if you're Monta Vista. Greatly placed. And big time point after the rally.
And it's another psychological edge for Los Altos, because Monta Vista led the way for much of this set. And there is our friend Anusha once again making the Lady Eagles pay.
If number 12 is in the middle, if you're Los Altos, you got to be a little more alert. And you got to be a little more ready than usual. I think she's beating them to the spots, and at the height she's able to get above the ball really allows her to place her wherever she wants.
Yeah, if you're Los Altos, you better not pitch to Anusha right now, because she will just cram it down your throat. Dug out there. Set. Jackie Wong blocked.
Guess who?
What were we just saying?
She might win this set by herself. We've got a lot of ways to go. 23-21, close game. Timeout, Los Altos.
Or is there? Nope, he does call the timeout. And so now Los Altos, and I think that's the first timeout they've called this game, as Peter Kim is saying, look, you guys need to hold on a little bit tighter.
Yeah, if you're Los Altos, you do not want to allow this Monta Vista team to steal, really, it would be a steal, this second set, and then have to play for 25 more points to try to get to two sets in the win category for tonight.
Right, and there's another momentum element too, Carlo, because that would be the first set that Monta Vista has won against the Lady Eagles this year.
And that's a big-time confidence boost. They only had 18 points in the first set, so they're already doing better in terms of points. They got 21 here, but it doesn't matter if you don't get those final four.
No, but on the other hand, as we said, the second set is where the Matadors tend to shine. If there is one set that tends to be theirs, it is set number 2. Let's see if they can close out the deal. Jackie Wong, and Jackie Wong brings a set point to Los Altos.
And you see it, Tung Lin was there, but just a better hit. Going against good defense.
And now Lauren Wong, the third time this set that she's been up to serve. And this time she's serving for the set. Let's see how she handles the pressure. Good clean serve, handled by Monta Vista. Set, blocked over. Now Lum. And Los Altos manages to get the defense with the help of Sydney Enthoven, and they take the second set despite a game challenge from the Matadors, Carl.
Yeah, the Matadors definitely made that one a game to the end. And we mentioned number 14, she's able to get the big-time serve for the match point. And after trying to do probably too much on the first point of the match, good redemption there for Tien.
So now it becomes a 2-0 problem for the Matadors. Can they come back and take a third set and get back into this game? We'll find out when we're back at Dude Angus Gym. Don't you dare go away. Intermission between set 2 and set 3, all Los Altos. The Lady Eagles have taken the first two sets, 25-18, 25-21. Although, as we were saying a little bit earlier, Carlo Jimenez, it was a much tighter victory for the Eagles in the second set than it was in the first.
Yeah, only a 21-23 lead, and Los Altos able to close it out. I think Monta Vista sensing here in this third set that they're right there, and then they're just a couple more hits, a couple more smart plays, big-time blocks from taking a set against this Los Altos team, which they've, as you mentioned, been unable to do here this season.
Now, that is interesting because the number of points that were scored in that second set, that's the second highest scoring set that the Matadors have had against the Lady Eagles this season. 21 points. They had 23 in their first set against Los Altos back on September 27th. And in the third set, they went down 25-13, which I guess says something about endurance.
Yeah, I mean, it might. Might be a repeat here. Los Altos, a team that's well conditioned, well coached, as we just see from the record of Coach Peter Kim. And then towards the end of the games, just a little more jump on their attacks, a little more power on the spikes, and we'll see if Monta Vista, it is later in the season, so the conditioning might be pretty even for both these teams.
Well, I think the other thing to mention about both these teams is that from the highs that they have in the second set, both teams in the mid-20s in terms of scoring, both teams tend to go down in the third set, and then if it goes to 4 sets, Los Altos' score tends to go up, while Monta Vista's tends to go down. So if we make it to a 4th set, that's going to be something to watch.
Monta Vista's trying to keep this one still going to 4 sets.
And they started off well there. That was Trinity Nguyen serving. And I'm not sure Los Altos even knew the third set had started there.
That's the second time in a row. It's been rough starts here for the Lady Eagles.
Now dug out there by McCabe. Hausch. Jackie Wong with a tremendous attempt, but it's blocked and it's up in the ceiling. And tipped over there. There's Hausch again. And that one got by Tori Hausch, and that was Jackie Kai.
And it looked like, again, a little miscommunication on the near side pass. But Monta Vista able to come out with the point anyway.
Ooh, tough dig, and I think we saw a net violation there, Carlo.
Yeah, a line violation it looked like on the dig.
Or a line violation, I beg your pardon. So once again, Monta Vista jumping out to an early lead, but now the question becomes, can they sustain it?
Big time dig right there.
Great dig, good survival, and Caitlin Wong saving the day for the Lady Eagles, but not that time. As that's a 4-point run now for the Matadors.
That's a big time heads-up play. You're going to your middle attacker almost every time, and then the second touch right over the block. 4-0 lead.
And that one swiped at by Katarina Baxter and out of bounds. And so Los Altos finally getting a little bit of fresh air there after a 4-point run by the Matadors. And here comes Lauren Wong.
This Los Altos team has already been down 5 points in this game, but able to come back and take the lead in that second set.
Now handled by Lauren. And up again, now dug out. Set. Dug out again. And this time, Anusha waiting right there, and I think she would probably have taken out a vacation reservation for that one. She was never fooled.
Monta Vista playing with a little more energy here. I think we see it on their side. This senior night for the Lady Eagles.
Monta Vista just taking those opportunities. Now up 6-1. That's the highest margin they've had so far, Carlo.
And they're dominating the net line.
And back over. Jackie Wong, but again blocked, and this time blocked out of bounds. And what I'm seeing, Carlo, you tell me if I'm wrong, but what I'm seeing is that Monta Vista is stretching the Los Altos defense just a little and making them play all over the court in a way they hadn't in the first 2 sets. Am I right in thinking that?
I think you're correct, and that's opened up a lot of holes for them to attack.
There's an economy to high school volleyball, no matter what they tell you. Now over, that was Tori Hausch. Or that was Kishton, I beg your pardon. And Katarina Baxter looping it into the middle of the backcourt. We got a 7-2 game now on our hands.
Baxter with a nice touch in between the block. I think any other team but Los Altos, you're worried, but this Los Altos Lady Eagle team, they have faced adversity so many times. As we mentioned, their last game down 2 sets. I don't think Coach Kim's too worried this early.
Probably not. He hasn't called a timeout, and he could have. Ooh, good looping kill attempt. Handled there. And blocked, but handled by Los Altos. There's Blanc. And McCabe, handled by the Matadors. Tried to tip over, tipped back again. And that was Claire Kwok. Ever so gently nudging that into the heart of the Matador defense, and suddenly the lead is down to 4.
And we'll come back here by Los Altos.
There's Caitlin Wong on the serve. Oh, backwards dig, and Monta Vista somehow or another kept it alive. And blocked again. Great defense there. Now a back set, tip, volleyed back over, controlled by Los Altos. And controlled again by Monta Vista. Ball control now becoming a bigger element here. So Wong to, and that was Kishton.
And Los Altos using every attacker on that rally. They went outside, near side, then go back to the far side, go middle, find nothing, and just resilient, finally get something to the backside attack.
Well, or improvisation. I think they're realizing some of the old tricks hadn't worked. And that one, and will they be able to keep it in? And they do. And that time Los Altos made the Matadors pay. And it was Los Altos playing a stretch defense.
They'll taste their own medicine.
You got to admire, you mentioned this earlier, but how disciplined the Lady Eagles are. That when something doesn't work out, they are willing to reach a little bit deeper and improvise something else that keeps them in the game. And now they have pulled back to within 1 after being down by 5.
Yeah, you just look up at the scoreboard and all of a sudden it's a 1-point game and the Lady Eagles have a chance to tie it here.
Dug out there, set, dug out again. That was Blanc. Set, now looped over, diving attempt there. I think that might have been Tori Hausch who'd been running after it. Or was it Katie Kishton? I only saw the space of the number, it was Kishton.
The Lady Eagles, you mentioned, they play with a lot of poise. No matter the score, you couldn't tell what the score is by the way they play.
Same attitude, same level of aggression. And that aggression was a little bit too long because now the Matadors have built up another 3-point lead. Just too hard. Dug out there by Blanc. Set. Kishton. And painting the borders, but they got the point. And that was a real gamble there by Katie Kishton. That could have ended up in the Monta Vista bench.
Nice play going to the outside of the block, able to adjust her body.
Line drive serve, bumped. And Samantha done. And Samantha got it done on that one. And look who just came back onto the court, Carlo. It's Anusha.
If you're Coach Kim, call it out to your team. Let them know. Number 12 has been a problem for you all night.
Anusha is like a Swiss Army knife. She can just do it all.
That's a nice serve.
Yeah, low to the net. Handled, and that one should have ended up in the stands and was volleyed there, but it wasn't close enough. And so Los Altos regaining the serve. Corrine McCabe taking over serving for the Eagles.
Eagles again making a run toward the middle of the set, just like set number 2.
And that one, I think Monta Vista might have a case if they wanted to dispute that one, but the referees don't see it that way.
Might have been a touch at the very end.
And what I'm seeing, Carlo, is I think that they may be serving away from number 12 because the Lady Eagles realize how much trouble Anusha can be no matter what they throw out there.
And I think you see the consequences when you're trying to place the serve Service error right there. 9-11, the lead increasing for Monta Vista.
And that one's going to hurt her palm for a while because she didn't get any height on it. The heel of her hand was what I think she should have gone for there. Now that's just a slap on the fingers, and that's going to sting for a little while.
Coach of Monta Vista looks over and says, hit it a little higher next time, jokingly.
Speaking of high hitters, there's Megan Corley. And a set, and this time Los Altos said, no, Anusha, you're not coming in here. And they have tied this ball game. What an effort by the Lady Eagles.
The comeback is on.
Now they're having to run a little bit for that one. And that one probably shouldn't let that one go, but it's a live ball. Monta Vista now setting. Tipped over. And Tori Hausch waiting for it patiently and taking her opportunities. And Los Altos has taken the lead for the first time in this set.
After falling down 4-0, the Lady Eagles, as you mentioned, the disciplined team, service error right there. Back tied at 12.
So now let's see what Monta Vista is going to do. And they're going to give it to Trinity Nguyen. And Trinity's going to have to get some more height on this. She did hit one in the net, and here comes the jump serve, and that one worked much better, and it worked so well that Jackie Wang wasn't prepared for that one at all.
Yep.
And yet again, Monta Vista taking the lead.
Monta Vista keeping Los Altos at bay. They've been control in the beginning. This is the second set in a row.
Now rallied, and Anusha not able to get that one. Not a very good set there. Didn't give her a chance to really stretch out because Anusha works well when she's off the ground.
The middle hitter is not enough on it. Didn't even get off the ground when she made that attack.
And didn't with that one either, but Los Altos desperately trying to keep that one. That one that ended up in the Eagle bench. Monta Vista again with a 1-point lead.
Back to serve.
And Tung Lin serving.
27 aces on the year.
Ooh, Tung kind of doing a sledgehammer job returning that one. Now Caitlin Wong. And off of Gianni Tian, who kind of swiped at that one with one hand.
It looked like she was in the middle right there. Not sure. She went to her right, but the ball comes to the left side. Just a tough angle.
Tied at 14. Oh my goodness, great serve.
Skips over the net.
And blocked. Monta Vista keeping it alive. And that one is a kill out of bounds. Unforced error there by the Eagles. The Eagles have a 1-point lead again. They're back in it. Dug out there by Nguyen. Dug out there by Wong. Now dug out again. Monta Vista controls. Wong digs it out again. And there's McCabe. And McCabe not able to get a handle on that one. And Monta Vista again successfully playing catch up.
Wong with a couple of big digs in that rally. The Lady Eagles just unable to take advantage. She has been a big asset for them.
And now Alyssa Umino hit that one hard. Los Altos controls. Tipped. Now Lum. Blocked. Oh, off the net. And over. No net violation there. Short set. And over and around the Los Altos blocking there. Monta Vista again taking a 1-point lead as we're about midway or about 60% done with this set. Dug out by Wong. Now Lauren.
Nice
and it's killed the other way.
She turns again to the right side like she's going cross court, and then is able to move her hand to the outside, as you see on the replay, and go down the sideline.
That is just a psych out job there by Tori Hausch.
So hard to read by those blockers.
And that one maybe feeling a little frustration as Monta Vista now down by a point. And Caitlin Wong stepping up to serve.
Who's going to be able to grab the 3-point lead here, or the 2-point lead down the stretch?
Dug out, but nobody there to get the dig. As Katie Kishkin very nearly winds up in the women's locker room there, tripping over the scoring table.
There's 17 all here.
This one has to be the tightest of any of the sets we've seen so far, Carlo.
Yeah, no team. It was an early advantage for Monta Vista. But since then, the Eagles have kept it close.
Back set. And went to the well again, and that might have been one too many. Now tipped over. Wong to Kishton. Now handled by Monta Vista. Dug out. Wong. Wang. No, that was McCabe, and that one's out of bounds. And for maybe the 5th time, Monta Vista taking advantage. Closed fist serve there, I think. Now, Los Altos, they managed to keep it. That's off of Enthoven.
And it was all that Sydney could do just to keep that one in play. But now, there's the 2-point lead you were looking for.
Can Monta Vista build on this one? These are big swing points right here.
And deflected, controlled now by Monta Vista and over. That was Emerald Lamb. And that one, I believe, went out of bounds. And Los Altos refusing to go quietly here in this 3rd set. And they are looking to get that last point. Now dug out. Over. Dug out there by Wong. Kishton. That was Hausch. Tipped. And this time, Los Altos managed to come away with that one. So what are you seeing here, Carlo?
Los Altos again refusing to go away. You're up 2 sets. You could very easily lay down and say, let's get it in set number 4, but a 3-0 run after going down by 2. They're up 20-19 in the driver's seat.
And Monta Vista just shot themselves in the foot because they got a double hit called on them. And another unforced error as Los Altos now turning the corner, closing in on that 3rd set that would take the match for them. And now Monta Vista trying some substitutions. Jackie Kai coming back into the game and Emerald Lamb coming out. And your server is Katie Kishton. Line drive serve handled by Monta Vista, controlled. Lin, now Wong, tipped and perfectly placed in the backyard of the Matadors, and there was no escaping that one.
Just a nice touch right over everybody on defense.
And I believe Monta Vista may have called a timeout.
Well, they were up 19-17, but this 5-0 run by the Lady Eagles has put them 3 points away.
And Los Altos now maybe seeing the daylight at the end of the tunnel. And there's a pretty good crowd here for the Lady Eagles, celebrating their senior night. Camille Blanc, Caitlin Wong, Corrine McCabe, Tori Hausch, Jackie Wong, and Lauren Wong, all graduating seniors.
Love to take your last league game on your home court.
Well, Lee Iacocca said it best, Carlo. He said, when it's your last time at bat, it's always nice to hit a home run.
And the Eagles have an opportunity to do that as things get a little louder.
And now, Katie Kishton serving as the Eagles are up 3. Make that up 2.
So the timeout working for Monta Vista.
Well, the unforced error, you can't attribute that to a timeout, but another gasp of breath for the Matadors.
Hanging on here.
And Divya Suresh, number 5, coming into the game to serve for Monta Vista. Monta Vista is not going to go quietly. Bumped by Blanc. Up, McCabe, defended there.
Now over the net. Set.
And a great kill there. And that was Sydney Enthoven, the 6'0" junior, showing us what she can do as Los Altos up by 3 again with Corrine McCabe to serve.
And the last 2 points by the Lady Eagles have been beautiful ball placement in that back row.
And that was not beautiful ball placement right there as Jackie Kai spun around, probably not well positioned to get that one. And we have found ourselves, Carlo, we got ourselves a match point. Line drive serve, bumped back over, Wong. And tipped, handled by Monta Vista. Set, blocked, back over. It's alive. Cross court, handled by Los Altos. Kishton, Jackie Wong. Monta Vista still hanging on there. Dug out there by Wong. Set, and volleyed over.
And Los Altos takes it.
In a great
Gymnastic final rally, the Lady
Eagles capture the 3rd set.
Take over, Carlo.
Oh, ending the game on an 8-2 run. Just staying with it. Looks like there was a couple miscommunications. I even think at one point in that rally, it went off the head of one of the Lady Eagles players and back over the net. And doing it all. A little lucky on that last one, but able to get the win 25-20.
So I would say that our players of the game, if I had to choose one
for Los Altos,
I think it would be tough, but I think I'd probably give it
to Katie Kishton, one of the tri-captains.
Because she was just everywhere.
Or Caitlin Wong. That would be the other one that I would choose.
And Kishner on over 200 kills and over 400 assists on the year.
That's
and
an
it's just
amazing
been a
record.
Staple of this team.
And I don't think there's any doubt that
Anusha, number 12, would get the nod for player of the game from Monta Vista.
100% agree. She was active and everywhere.
Well, the producer and director making his swan song for KMVT is Rene Antonio Mendoza. Logistics and camera was done by Tim Erskine. Thank you, sir. Jenny Lynn Gleave was one of the cameramen. Daniel Negretti on the other camera. And my gosh, those guys know more about
volleyball than we do, Carlo. Special thanks to Los Altos High School and its principal,
Wynn Satterwhite. This is a production of KMVT15.org Sports. Copyright 2018. From Los Altos High School for Carlo Jimenez, this is Mike Messner reminding you, run for the roses, but don't forget to stop and smell them. So long, everybody. See you next time.